This is the Real Good Procast with your hosts, Declan DeBarb, Ian Blumenthal, and Marshall Healy. Sorry, I really had to.
Welcome back to the Real Good Procast. I'm joined tonight, as always, by Ian Blumenthal.
What up, everybody?
And Marshall Healy.
I'm just glad to be here.
And as always, your host, Declan DeBarb. I think this is actually just the second time we've had a full podcast, so this should be a good one. There's a lot to get to tonight, and I'm just really looking forward to getting back into this one. Aren't you guys?
Oh, yeah. There's a lot to talk about. A lot of stuff has gone down in the hockey world, and I'm excited to talk about every single aspect of it. We're going to be missing we're not going to hit every point, obviously, but we're going to hit the big ones. Like, I don't know what you want to talk about first.
Well, I mean, I think there is no other place to start than in the Western Conference, and more specifically Chicago, because they've dropped their head coach, Joe Quenneville, after a very, very successful run that he's had. I just want to throw out a stat. So Quenneville, in his Chicago tenure, went 452, 249, and 96.
Well, look at the players he had. You know what I mean? Like, you don't really have to be a great coach for them to win that many games. But he is a great coach. I didn't mean that as, like, he's not a good coach, but, like, it's, like, if you have a team with Kane, Taves, Keithers.
And Crawford when he was good.
Yeah, when Crawford when he was sick, and Seabrook when he was sick, all those guys, like, you're not going to lose that many games. Like, you're going to win 3 Stanley Cups.
Well, yeah, and I mean, one of the things that I think has led to his downfall has been Corey Crawford's injury.
Yeah, I don't know if it's, like, his downfall. I think he's equally as great a coach.
Yeah, I
as
mean,
he was.
like they're 6-6-3. It's not like they started out the season with 10 losses and no wins.
Well, mentioning that, they did start quite well at 6-2-2, but after that, things have taken a downturn and they lost 5 straight. So I don't know. I think Chicago is going to. They don't need a rebuild because they have those pieces there. You can still.
They're just being paid so much money.
You can still build a team around Kane or Taves.
Oh yeah, they're not that old.
But for how much longer?
For a couple years, either you sell that. Well, that's the question. Do you bet the farm, sell off Kane, Taves, Seabrook, Keith?
Their value's only going to go down.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like that's what doesn't make sense here is that if they're going to be good for a couple of years, you still have Quenneville $6 million this year and $6 million next year.
Quenneville?
Yeah, Quenneville. And
he's a great
he's on the
coach.
contract. So and he's a great coach. So
Why?
if you think you still have only 2 more years with Taves and Kane, then milk it with the best coach alive right now is what I say. Like, I don't see the reason to fire him right now, especially like this early. Like, at this point last year, there wasn't the first coach firing until February. So to have 2 coaches
We didn't
fired,
get a coach firing last year until right at the end of the season.
Yeah, like it didn't come till late. So to all of a sudden have 2 coaches gone now, it's kind of, I guess, a shock, but I don't know.
It's probably because it didn't happen last year. It's happening this year. Because I feel like if they were going to fire Joel Quenneville, they should have done it last year.
Well, then why didn't they do it in the offseason and let a whole new coach take over the reins? That would have made more sense.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
But, I mean, they're not even that bad offensively. It's just, I don't know.
Well, yeah, and I think we all hope that this is the start of a new era in Chicago. It might be a little bit bumpy.
I don't, because I don't really want all those bandwagon Chicago fans again. Do you know how many bandwagon Chicago fans you still see? And it's like, the bandwagon's over. Like, they're not good anymore. But you still go to any game, and there's always going to be at least one Blackhawks fan. It's like, you're not Leafs. You can't do that.
Okay. Oh,
Leafs fans are allowed to do that because we are the biggest franchise in the league. So you say what you want. We have money.
Well, that's a good thing you have money because money's all you got right now. Yeah, you still got to win the cup.
And we also have a team that can beat Stanley Cup winner from 2 years ago and 3 years ago without our star player.
Fair enough. But,
oof.
I was going to go back to the coaches. Where do you think Quenneville lands?
Ooh.
It was Brian Burke who said he could probably go anywhere he wants, and I don't think that he's wrong. I think Quenneville could just call up any owner in the league and be like, or GM in the league and be like, I want this job.
I think the only place he can't go is Ottawa because they can't afford him. So,
well, I mean,
Arizona.
Phoenix, yeah,
so
Arizona is in the same.
They're selling again. That was announced 2 days ago. They're selling the franchise. The owner is selling his team again. So Phoenix is going to have a new owner come next year.
Arizona. It's not Phoenix.
Do we need to start the Arizona jar? I mean, producer Seb, who we also have on the pod today, is saving up money for Movember. So maybe we should start that Phoenix jar.
Happy November, Seb. Yay. He shaved his whole beard. It was sad.
Seb's beard is majestic for those who haven't seen it, or it
was
until it was ungodly slain.
Slain by the hands of the sharp razor.
But just getting back onto topic, is this the start of a rebuild or a retool in Chicago? Where do you guys see this one going?
Until they get rid of Taves and Kane and all of them, it's going to be a retool. It won't be a full rebuild.
And
well, that's the question. Do they move Kane or Taves?
I'm thinking that, honestly, if they're firing their coach that they probably shouldn't have fired, yeah.
Yeah, like, if I were them, if I'm in the position
sell.
right now, I'm getting rid of everything because...
Man, Taves has shown that he can be that star player again, and teams notice.
Yeah.
It's not like they won't get anything for them. They'll get a lot of stuff for them.
They'll get back better than what Ottawa got back for Karlsson, that's for sure.
It's just because they don't have his poor management.
Well, two things can be true at the same time.
Things can be two things. Yeah, but you mentioned that. Taves has definitely had a good start to the season. 8 goals, 5 assists.
He's a good player.
So there's definitely still promise in Chicago. I mean, I think at the end of the day, we have them maybe...
They could still be in the playoffs.
They could.
It depends.
I don't know.
They could make the playoffs.
Weirder things have happened.
Yeah, honestly. Like, Vegas made the Stanley Cup final last year. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, but riding a massive PDO bender.
Well, so did Ottawa. Into the Eastern Conference final.
Yeah, and then you saw what happens after.
But
Hey, don't compare Vegas to that dumpster fire.
Vegas PR-wise is definitely not heading down as bad of a dumpster fire. We might get to the video a little bit later, but it'll be a big fall from grace.
Yeah.
For the Vegas Golden Knights, they're not going to be good this year.
Yeah, they might scrape into the playoffs in a wild card spot, but
I don't know.
I don't really know. William Karlsson he's just been not performing, and he signed not a big contract.
And it was Eric Howla who went down yesterday against the Leafs. That was sad. It was one that made me wince. It was a big injury. Did you catch it, Marshall?
No.
His knee bent the wrong way.
I saw it. Yeah, it wasn't pretty. That's for sure.
It's not supposed to go like that.
Yeah.
Marlo had that concerned dad face. You know what I mean? He was like,
"Well, I think he just felt bad for it." But Chicago not off to the best start. They're second last in their conference, only ahead of the St. Louis Blues, another team that hasn't performed well this season and could see their coach move. Does Quenneville
Quenneville? No, they're not going to give up
in St. Louis.
They're not going to give up anything for him.
Yeah, at this point, with 6 with contracts, they got to give up compensation for Quenneville. So
I don't think St. Louis
is that still a thing? I thought they got rid of it the year after.
As far as Darren Dreger's concerned, it's still a thing. So
okay, I'm wrong then.
But
I thought they might have gotten rid of it.
I won't be surprised if he's
unless Darren Dreger's wrong.
Seattle.
I trust Darren Dreger more than I trust myself.
I won't be surprised if Quenneville's in Seattle.
It's fair.
Should we bounce on over to staying at the bottom of the Western Conference table and to another team that fired their coach in the LA Kings?
John Stevens.
Yeah, so John Stevens has been let go in what was a busy week for coach firings in the NHL. His team is tied for last in the NHL with Florida. They've gone 4-8-1. He'll be replaced by Willie Desjardins until the end of the season.
Did you know that Desjardins Insurance is now State Farm Canada? State Farm Canada is now Desjardins Insurance. I watched that commercial at least 100 times yesterday watching the Leafs game. I just wanted to put that there. It was just funny.
I didn't.
Thanks for the ad spot.
You know what? I didn't watch the Leafs game, so thank you for letting me know that.
Desjardins Insurance, send the check.
Yeah, but I want to get paid.
I think the firing of Stevens makes a lot more sense than the firing of Quenneville.
Well, yeah, that was a long time coming.
But to be fair, they're without Quick, so it's like you're missing your most important player, in my opinion.
No, yes,
oh yeah.
So you can't expect them to be the best they are, but they're giving up exactly one more goal than they're scoring in every game. So that's not going to be successful.
Well, yeah, and it's not even that they've been out. Sorry, Ian, but they've been outscored 45-28. Just like throwing in those stats to this discussion. I think the Kings are bad, and they might be bad for a long time.
They just have like old players that used to be sick, and like they still might be sick, but they're just not as fast as they used to be, and they don't have that pizzazz that they had when they were younger.
Washed up is too strong of a word, but other than
they're not like I wouldn't say Anze Kopitar's washed up.
But other than
but he's just
Doughty,
not what he used to be.
Other than Doughty, yeah, their stars are not what they used to be, and that's fair.
And Toffoli too.
Well, their stars are all 30 plus.
They still have Jeff Carter, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
As long as you ignore Drew Doughty, they are all 30 plus. Doughty is 28 and just signed a new 8-year contract.
Yeah, but Doughty he wanted to get traded to the Leafs, but that was not real.
Yeah. One bright spot though is Kovalchuk, point per game.
Yeah, that is
35-year-old Anze Kovalchuk. Or
Ilya
Kovalchuk.
Anze Kovalchuk.
Yes.
Brother Anze Kopitar.
That Anze.
As you can tell, it's been a fantastic day for my brain in terms of brain function.
Well, it's a good we're filming this. It's a good we're recording this now.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
But what's interesting about it is they did win 2 of their last 3, and then he got fired.
Yeah, I think it was for both. For LA, there was the decision to fire him before they won.
Oh,
He had that bad loss, and so we're going to get rid of him but they had back to back, so they couldn't really get rid of him.
okay, fair.
And then they won the second game. It was like, yeah, you're still fired. So
you're still fired.
I think another interesting thing to keep in mind is that the Kings also brought in Storm. He was the German head coach at the Olympics in more of an assistant coach role. So I think, and Elliot Friedman has, and this is where I'm getting it from. Elliot Friedman thinks that that he's the one that'll be the next head coach of the LA Kings for a long time.
Like next year?
Maybe not next year because he hasn't coached as a head coach in the NHL. But
do you think Willie Desjardins will only sign a 1-year contract?
Well, Willie Desjardins only here until the end of the season.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, no one's going to sign a 1-year contract. So.
No, yeah, but I also don't see Willie Desjardins getting re-upped at the end of the year. Yeah, he's a good interim head coach, but
good interim
I think
coach.
he's there to stop the bleeding until they can bring in someone that they want to be there maybe for a couple years, and then have Storm advance through their organization, learn the system and everything like that, and then make it a smooth takeover later down the road. Okay,
so you don't see Storm being like in like 2 years. You see it like 3 to 4 years.
Yeah, maybe closer.
Okay.
So I think that this is just the mark of the beginning of a rebuild, not a retool.
Yeah, no, this is a full rebuild. They need to do a full rebuild.
Yeah, for sure.
In LA, because they did win a cup though. So.
Yep.
Like even if you just win 1 cup, it's all that matters. Right. Like that's the end goal, right? Just even 1 cup. Like even if the Leafs only win 1 cup off this, like that's more than I would ask for.
That's exactly what you would ask for. 1 cup.
More
than
honestly more than I ask for. Because you see like teams that come up and are great, and
do
then
you
they're
ever just have dreams of what it'll be like? Because we got to make every discussion about the Toronto Maple Leafs somehow. What it'll be like?
What are like TSN
the day,
and LeBron?
Like how will you feel when they win the cup? I mean, Marshall, we can extend this to you, to the Ottawa Senators, who've never won a Stanley Cup.
Well, I mean,
no, they've never won a Stanley Cup. It's a different franchise. Don't say it.
Yes, but
don't say it.
All I'm gonna say is okay, but the banners still are in the tower, are in the building. That's all I'm gonna
different franchise. That's like that's like saying that the Rashers is like not the true Winnipeg Jets now.
Okay, yeah.
Because that's what they are. Like the Thrashers moved to Winnipeg, right? But then the old Winnipeg Jets history went to Arizona.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. No, all I'm going to say is I've had I believe you, but like, it's not the same franchise. I don't say that Ottawa's won 13 cups because they haven't. They've.
You know who has?
Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah.
Let's just move on to them at this point.
No.
let's just dive on in on the Leafs.
Well, no, we talked. We'll use that. I won't use that easy of a transition out. I think I do want to continue this discussion about the Kings. Do you guys see this being a rebuild, like full on, tear it down, start over again?
I hope so. They honestly, if they were gonna move Kopitar, and I don't think they're gonna move Doughty because he just signed a contract, and you could still build around him. He's still a great player. Like I don't see the need to get rid of a guy like Doughty.
I think Doughty is their biggest trade piece, though.
I think yes, he's their biggest trade piece, But if you can trade Kopitar and get almost the same, because Kopitar is still a great player in the league. What did he get? 86 points last year? 89, I think. He had like a bounce back year where he was sick. And now I don't think he's going to repeat that again this year.
31-year-old Anze Kopitar, who signed until 2024.
Ooh.
What's his contract? How much
$10
money?
million bucks a year.
Wow.
You still get retain contract.
But you got to keep that and Doughty. That's eating up. Those two players are going to eat up.
That's 6 more years with. No, that's 5 seasons with Anze Kopitar after this one. You got 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024. So that's 36-year-old Anze Kopitar. Still going to be a great player in the league.
But as dominant? Like worth $10 million?
I don't know.
Because if you're paying Doughty and you're
Doughty is their biggest biggest
100%,
trade piece.
but
Anze Kopitar is still an important trade piece, but Doughty is the biggest. And I think you can't have a full-on rebuild until you move on Doughty. And yeah, he's a piece you would like to keep.
I don't think Doughty wants to go anywhere.
That's true. It is a good market to be in. I mean, you're in
And
LA.
that's a big like factor of him being traded if he wants to leave. Because if they can keep him, he's on a good contract. And yes, he is their most valuable trading piece, but if their rebuild's going to take a couple of years and he's like down to stick it out.
But that's the question. Would he be?
Well,
Doughty
he
at
doesn't wanna
$7 million
leave.
bucks.
He doesn't want to leave. Like, he already said that.
No, he doesn't want to leave. He
wants to
happy where
stay
he
there.
is.
He wants to win a cup with LA again.
Well, yeah.
So, do you think this is a 1 year, 1 to 2 year retool, or a 2 to 3 year rebuild centered around Doughty? Because
I don't think Doughty's going anywhere.
No, and I'm not suggesting that he is, but
I honestly don't even think Anze Kopitar is going to go anywhere.
no, I think that the Kings are going to try and hold on to whatever little bit they still have.
And they're going to be like, we're still good, guys.
And
We got Kopitar.
I mean, maybe you have to do. Maybe the best decision is to have a fire sale on your team and look to 5 years down the road.
Oh, like look what the Leafs did. You know what I mean?
Well, the Leafs rebuild went quicker than they thought too.
No, yeah, 100% because of Austin Matthews.
Yes.
We could have gone even quicker, man. If we got McDavid.
Okay. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I mean, if Ottawa got McDavid too, they would have went a lot quicker too.
no, they'd still be garbage now. They'd be like the Edmonton Oilers are now.
Okay. Let's
Let's not go that far.
let's save the slander for later.
Now 2 Canadian hockey markets are upset at Ian. There will be riots on this house.
Everyone hates the Leafs fan base anyways. Like, I'm not doing anything worse.
I don't hate the Leafs fan base. I just hate how they're covered by certain organizations.
Unnamed organizations.
Unnamed organizations that have a conglomerate, or however they say that word across Canada sports. You know, just 2 of them. Not naming names.
Hey, they post a lot about Pettersson.
Who has been absolutely ridiculous this year after coming back from injury. It doesn't look like he skipped a beat.
That's fair.
Can I say a great fantasy pickup on my part? 10 goals in 10 games?
Can I say you picked him up late?
I did pick him up late, but
Did no one else have him?
nope, he was sitting in waiver wire. We are in a 5-team league, though.
And Shabbat also was not picked.
Oh, yeah.
And he's the leading scoring defenseman.
Yep.
6 overall in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Can I join your fantasy right now? I feel like I could catch up with the people that are in it.
I doubt it. My team's still in first. Even with those pickups, I'm still in first.
Who's your leading scorer?
Austin Matthews, who's on injury reserve right now, but the rest of my
No,
guys are
it's-
still sick.
Is it Rantanen?
Oh, maybe Rantanen. Yeah, no, it's totally Rantanen. And I also have McKinnon.
All right, fair enough.
Ian's team is good this year, and it hurts me to say that.
It's because that one line. Rantanen, McKinnon, Landeskog line.
Yeah, and Mo has Landeskog.
None of us.
Where do you guys want to go next? There's a couple of options. How about we go to Toronto?
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
let's do it.
So, I mean, there's not a lot to talk about in Toronto. There's a couple of other things. There's been some Nylander news, but I refuse to talk about it.
There has not been Nylander news. There's been guys being like, maybe this could happen. And then people go, probably not. And then that's news. And they write an article about it.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't think nothing's. I mean, what's the deal again if he doesn't sign by a certain date?
can't play.
December
He's blacklisted
December
from the
1st, he can't
NHL.
play. Yeah, he can't play for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
And he'll probably go play in Sweden.
Like, he wouldn't not.
Now, like, so the day after that passes, he signs in Sweden or Switzerland, or it'd be Sweden, and he plays. So, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think he'll get to that point?
I think he's gonna.
Because we're a month away from that.
I think he's gonna get traded.
I don't know, man.
That's my actual thought now. I used to think like that was kind of a stretch, but every day I'm like, he's not signing with the Leafs.
This whole discussion just frustrates me.
I've always thought they should trade him. After the first 10 games of the season, I thought they should trade him.
Because, like, it looks like there's promising market out there for him.
Yeah, I mean, no team doesn't want that kind of player.
Yeah, but it's just how much he's asking for. That takes a lot away from it. Because, like, no team wants to sign him on that contract.
No, but other teams will have more
cap space to deal
with and more flexibility.
But they won't be as good as the Leafs are. That's my thing.
They're going to trade away a piece that we're going to get.
Yeah,
it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I don't see.
I don't think Dubas is going to take an L on this.
No.
He won Tavares. If he can get Nylander right, then he'll have security for.
And all the reporting has been that the Matthews deal is already in place, and they're just waiting for.
Man, but they also had all the reporting saying that Nylander was going to sign, and then there's all these reporting. Oh, he's going to sign soon.
Yeah, but the reporting was very different from the Nylander case to the Matthews case. Okay. There is a deal in place that has all but signed. The fees are agreed on compared to this is what we think it'll look like. They're different situations, and comparing them is not representative.
What about Mitch Marner?
I was about to ask if we get to is it December 1st or 8th?
It's first.
If we get after December 1st, are Marner and Matthews signed this year or after July 1st?
I think Matthews will be signed December 1st.
Really?
I don't think there's any point in waiting. I think you just be like, Matthews, how much do you want? And Austin wrote a number on
paper and
on a sticky note, and he handed it across the table because I assume that's how all business things are handled.
Naturally.
With intense music playing through the Sonos at MLSE,
Dubas,
and Dubas looks at his cronies behind him, and he waves them on, and they advance with briefcases.
You forgot. Oh, I was going to say he takes a briefcase out of his drawer in his desk, and he slides it to Matthews, who then proceeds to open the briefcase, count the stacks, and then go, thank you for doing business.
No, it was deal.
Oh, deal or no deal.
Do you think, depending on how this next month and 2 months go for Marner, do the Leafs say he's having a really good year? Do they rush to sign him so that he doesn't even have a better year?
If I was the Leafs, I would have I said like we shouldn't sign him yet last year, but now I'm like that was stupid.
In the Leafs case, they should have signed him.
It's too late now.
But if you're Marner, why would you have signed it? Like you knew you were going to play with John Tavares. You knew he was going to earn you, I don't know how much, $1 million, $2 million
extra from what you were already going to make.
I mean, and Marner is sick on his own.
Yeah, but I think
he's proved he can drive. He can drive play,
and he's not going to ask for $8 million.
He wants to be here. He's not going to ask.
No,
for more money.
And I do think that Dubas will have an easier time at negotiating with Marner than he has with Nylander.
And he also has endorsements already, like the Beats thing. Like he's already making a bunch of money.
Yeah,
so I don't think money's a huge deal to him. I think he just wants to win a cup with the Leafs.
Now, saying that, I mean, this is all speculation.
To $8 million.
Where do you see him coming in?
If Nylander signs whatever Nylander signs for, if Nylander doesn't sign,
let's say Nylander doesn't sign this year,
$8 million.
That figure doesn't matter.
Seven most.
I'm pegged at 7.5, and I think Nylander will probably come in about the same number. I think they should be on about even numbers.
I mean, at this point, I'd pay Nylander less because he hasn't shown anything this year. At this point, if I'm Dubas, I'm looking to trade him, and I'm playing hardball with Nylander.
Oh, you're playing hardball with Nylander the entire way,
been playing
and
hardball with Nylander
that's why Nylander isn't signed.
But no, you up it to the point where it's like, nah, you're gonna have to be like under. You're gonna have to be 7 most for me to sign you. Because I would not at this point if I'm Dubas.
If I was Kyle Dubas, I would say $7 million, or we are not having a deal, and I'm going to trade you.
And you're not gonna like it in Florida or Ottawa. So
well, it's been
Nylander
reported
for
that it's
Shabbat straight up.
Well, do you do it, Ottawa Senators?
Are you fucking kidding me? Shabbat is was one of the only 2 good things we have going for us right now.
Yeah, but Nylander's sick, bro.
Oh yeah, he's sick playing in Sweden. Not
Also,
playing for the Leafs
Nylander
right now.
doesn't sign in Ottawa.
Also, yeah, I don't think he would play in Ottawa. He'd
God,
be like,
no.
I don't like it here.
And we couldn't afford it even if you wanted to.
Him and Duche would be boys, chilling in that Uber.
Are we doing that now?
I think we should. I mean, there's not much else to talk about in Toronto.
Yeah,
It was a
no.
quiet week. I mean, they put in a pretty dominant performance against Pittsburgh. I think the best
Yeah,
one.
but then it
all
wasn't as
year.
much.
Anderson only had one
Dominant
bad
against
game the
Vegas.
last couple, so
He's a 929 save percentage.
yeah, he's doing good.
Vegas was Leafs.
Actually, I saw a thing. TSN, the Leafs lunch radio. They ranked the five most important players in order for the Leafs. Andy Petrillo had Anderson second.
I would have put him first.
Yeah.
No, they both had Matthews first, and they both had Tavares fifth. They had Riley above him, above Tavares.
Yeah, no,
and
Riley-
I see
good,
Riley,
yeah.
yeah.
He's so
So-
important this year.
But I mean, in terms of most important Leafs,
Freddie.
it's Andy, then I would say Matty, Marner,
And then I would continue. I would go down that list, go to Marner, and then I would probably say Riley, then Tavares.
Just gonna see if I can.
That's just like superstar status,
Yeah,
kind of.
so-
I mean, I think I agree.
But honestly, I think like to
Or-
the team dynamic, Marlowe might be top 5 in like importance to the team.
Well, Petrillo had Matthews, Anderson, Marner, Riley, Tavares, 1 to 5. Gordon Miller had Matthews, Marner, Riley, Anderson, Tavares. The only real difference is where they put Anderson.
It's kind of stupid.
I think it's just,
He's
I mean,
100%
I think
the most important player on our team.
you've
If he plays well, we
seen
win.
I think he's
the
the most,
importance the goalies have.
yeah, he's the most important because if Matthews, Marner, Riley, if one of those guys are out, it doesn't dramatically
Yeah,
change.
like Matthews out,
If-
we're still winning games.
If Anderson is either out or not playing the way he should, that's the difference between winning a playoff round and not.
Completely, 100%.
Marner and Tavares are not going to.
Like if
they may make
Tavares
the
is
difference.
garbage for half the season and Marner's good and the other guys are like still
Yeah.
decent, you're good. If Freddie's garbage for half the season and then all those rest of the 4 guys are still sick, we're probably not gonna have home ice advantage.
How many pucks did he stop last night?
He
It
had
was a lot.
34 or 37 shots against.
He had 31 after 2 periods.
Oh no, sorry, I was thinking of a different.
They had
game.
like 55 shot attempts after 2 periods.
attempts or
Shot
okay,
attempts.
Okay.
After 2 periods, and I was
NHL
like, we had like
last
30,
night.
or like 20 something.
Toronto, Vegas.
The Leafs came out victorious
He had
3-1.
37 saves. Sorry, 36 saves. So he had 36 saves, and 2 nights before that, he had another really good night.
Well, yeah, Freddie is stellar, and I think he has worked his way into the Vezina conversation. We can get to that a little bit later. But, yeah, I mean,
Yeah, against Calgary, he had 31 saves, and against Winnipeg, he had Winnipeg, he had 22.
On 24.
Yeah, and then other time against Winnipeg, 38 on 40. So
Yeah.
he's had one bad game in the last 5. Which if you have,
Which
if you,
like
if
isn't
you average,
that bad.
If you average 4 to 5, that's pretty good win percentage.
You average 4 to 5, you're gonna win a playoff series in 5 games.
Thank you. Yes, that's that.
math.
You guys are the worst. I don't want to be on this podcast anymore.
So yeah, let's get to Ottawa. Let's just do it.
So where do you want to start, Marshall? What will make you feel better? Remembering the Duchesne trade, the Duchesne deal, the tape, or should we start?
Let's start with Shabbat.
Or
'cause,
should
like,
we
No,
s-
Shabbat's sick.
let's end
No?
on
End
Shabbat.
okay.
Or should
And
we
let's
start with the stomping in Buffalo?
We're gonna end on Shabbat because that's the only bright spot in
Should we
a
go all the
very
way
dark
from
grave.
dark to like lighter?
What's palatable for you,
So what's
Marshall?
the
We'll start.
darkest?
Buffalo was just one of those games that happens. It just
Okay.
happened.
It's like
Now,
The Leafs lost to
be fair-
Nashville 9-2.
To be fair, it's the worst they've ever done in the history of me being alive. Like they hadn't had 9 goals against since '95, so it was historically bad in a way. But I just think it's just one of those games.
Just happens. Like
But
everyone has those
What
games.
is everyone has those days. Everyone has those games.
Except Ottawa has more of those than most other teams.
There was someone that had that tweeted exactly how
I'm just extra mean today to Ottawa.
it happened. Basically, how it feels to be an Ottawa fan.
It must not feel good.
Yeah. So this is with the Uber video, which is just
If you haven't
It's
seen the
a-
Uber
yeah.
video, it's
Matt
4
Du-
players or 4 or 5.
there's 7 in there, but
Oh,
only
Damn.
like 3 to 4 of them actually partake in the shit talk.
3 to 4 of them are just like shit talking the management. Apparently, the management already found out about it and stuff, and they had already dealt with it.
But
I don't believe that at all, and I think that was just for the media to hear.
No, sorry, Marshall. And what has been reported today is that the Senators have asked the citizen to take it down, and the citizens promptly responded.
They already did.
No.
Yeah. No. It was more specific. Yeah. It was Duchesne. Most notably, it was Duchesne, directed at Marty Raymond, the assistant coach. He said he's the only person to ever in a calendar year have the worst PK and worst power play. Which, when you take a step back, he's not wrong. Ottawa has the worst penalty kill this year, and they had the worst power play last year. Now, the way he said it and what he's saying is not great. It's not constructive. But the one thing is that this came from...
you gotta start somewhere.
Yeah.
Starting an Uber.
And that's kind of one of the takeaways that they're getting is that this is a way to kind of just say, you know what, we got to have better communication as a team.
Break the barrier.
No, and I think everybody shit talks their management.
I've had...
Man, 100% the Leafs all talk shit about Babs behind his back.
Well, it's different.
They're all probably like, "Oh, he's too hard. I'm tired."
Yeah, but no, it's known that Babcock's hard on you, but at least he backs it up with winning.
Yeah, but then
these guys are just shit talking because they suck. But like you said, just this is from how do you say his name? Apron
Bazo?
Yeah, it's from Apron Bazo. Yeah, he's a athletic writer out of Montreal. So he said, just think of how many Uber drivers have heard this many hockey players rant and rave about their coach or system or team or whatever. Probably thousands. Out of all those thousands, whose Uber driver posted a video online? The Sens Uber driver, because of course it was the Sens.
And they had an ad in their arena yesterday that said, "Uber, we'll bring the noise."
The players' contracts don't pay themselves. You gotta get the money somehow.
So funny. You can't write that. Like, if you wrote that in a book, people would be like, "That's stupid. That's
this
too
week
big of a
has been the
coincidence."
Ottawa Senators. The
field
Ottawa Senators
day
we
for
expected.
media.
It's been the team we expected this year. They got out of the gate so well, and it looked like there was going to be some promise.
Well, no, okay, no, there wasn't some promise. It looked like it wouldn't be as bad as people thought it'd be.
Yeah, and that's what I mean, promise.
Okay,
it wasn't
going to
be,
we're
going to win 3 games all year.
Yeah.
Like their inaugural season.
I think they won 9 that year. Thank you very much.
Be generous. Come on.
I think it was 7, actually.
Maybe they had 2 ties in there.
Yeah,
I don't know.
No, they had some ties.
Yeah, of course they had some ties.
Classic. I love ties. It's my favorite. It's
my
favorite thing in sports.
I honestly think that the Uber video... it made ESPN, so it was obviously a big deal. But the majority of people are saying
it's the Uber driver. Like, that's who really is at fault and is the worst guy here.
A month from now, it will be a footnote. It won't be the biggest deal ever, and it will be just one of those things that happened as usual to Ottawa. But I think it's unlike other past things, like the bad Carlson trade or Pajot getting hurt at literally the first day of training camp. There's at least something that can come from this of
constructive
and better communication.
I totally see that.
And the day and now you said that you don't think they knew right away. You think they knew, they found out when everyone else did. I think they knew beforehand because the day after this broke, there's pictures and video of Duchesne and Marty Raymond laughing it up at practice. So I don't think this is gonna be detrimental to their relationship.
And there was a timestamp on the video from like 2017.
But most reports placed it in their weekend and
no, it was because
I was super confused. I think it was something.
Formanton was in the Uber, it was that.
It must have been, 100%.
But I think that this is just a story that's in the news, but overall, I don't think it'll have much effect on the organization.
Yeah, I mean, I think we'd be lying if saying if this happened to St. Louis or Minnesota, it would be as big of a deal.
No, because it's a story because it's Ottawa.
Yeah, it's a story in part
because
it's
St.
Ottawa.
Louis and you saw Tarasenko talking shit about his coach. I think there would be.
Yeah, but no one likes Mike Yeo, so that kind of makes sense, and everyone wants him out.
No one's
looking at Marty Raymond saying this guy has to go right now. I must say, so I think it's not the worst thing to happen. But on the bright side, at least for Ottawa, they have like 2 good players right now.
Well, Martin LaJoie.
Okay,
LaJoie has been good.
Yeah, Tkachuk before he got hurt, and he's finally in a contact jersey, so he'll be back. They think tomorrow night, which will be
should be good. I like players of Shabbat's ilk. I think they make the game a lot more fun.
Absolutely.
They bring some nastiness, but it seems like Shabbat knows when he's gone too far, and he hasn't crossed that line yet.
It's definitely one of those things where like Pierre Maguire was like kind of lambasting Ottawa for not playing him more last year. It's one of those things where you can't overdevelop a player. They had him in this system, and he's now doing what he's supposed to be doing.
Is this Shabbat?
Yeah, Shabbat.
Okay.
Yeah, they didn't play him too much last year, and now they're kind of reaping the rewards this year.
Well, what rewards they have been. Thomas Shabbat leading all defensemen in points.
Which no one really expected, so that's,
No one expected him to do anything, really. They expected him to be, like, good.
There were expectations of Shabbat.
They expected him to be good.
My expectations when they drafted him was for him to be the next Carlson. I'm being honest with you. I
mean, Shabbat went under my radar. I didn't pick him up.
I'm going to get his jersey coming at some point because the current jerseys that I have of Ottawa are Heatley and Carlson. So
maybe don't get Shabbat.
I'm kind of
thinking
thinking
an Alfredson jersey.
You should get Cody Ceci.
I should really get Cody Ceci, and 5's my favorite number, so it works. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't get Shabbat. I don't know.
No, but he's been a bright spot in Ottawa this year when they've needed it. And I mean, he's been a bright spot on my fantasy team. So
Fair enough.
I'm very happy
For
with
1
how
week.
Thomas Shabbat has been.
And I mean, another issue for Ottawa right now is attendance.
No way he's keeping
Most
it up.
definitely attendance.
They don't even have a 300 section anymore.
They got 12,000 last night.
They just covered it up.
They got 12,000 last night,
That's
and
it?
that includes the 3,000. I say that in quotes because I don't know if it really was 3,000. 3,000 military members that were invited to the game. I don't think it really was 3,000. So that's of the 12,000, a quarter of them were invited. So.
Well, yeah, and I mean us here in the nation's capital. If you guys have noticed, there's some signs on right down the bus stations on Bank Street that they're slowing down their service all the way out to Canada because that's where the arena is. It's in a field.
Yep.
Literally in the middle of nowhere. I drove past it. I went paintballing this past weekend, and we drove past it, and the paintball place was like 5 minutes past it, and it was in the middle of nowhere.
No,
we were in a field.
They built it on an old farm field, and they don't get a lot of people. A lot of their season tickets are from outside in Carp, in Kemptville, and Smiths Falls, and they don't come from the inner city and from Gatineau. Which when and if they go to the Breton Flats, that will change. But for now, it's team fielding a not great team with an owner that is not appreciated by the team, by the fans, in a location that's not suitable with bad parking, and it's just a whole lot of bad stuff for Ottawa.
It's just been an issue for a while.
Yeah.
Even when they were in the conference final.
Yeah, but they
couldn't sell out.
But there were a lot of issues for that weren't talked about. So
man, Le Breton Flats is good, but I mean,
is it gonna
think of it in the location. Think of it just where it is in the city. It's not downtown. In the heart of it, at least.
Yeah, but they're making a subway line that's east-west
now.
When it
finishes.
Yeah, but it's gonna finish before they get that.
No, I know, but I
there.
think you need to create a hub in your city, and yeah, okay.
They're trying to.
Yeah, Ottawa's hub is the Byward Market.
Yeah.
You can't put an arena in the Byward
No,
Market.
you can't. I'm just saying.
They're trying to build it. It's like what Detroit did. They when they built their new arena.
I mean,
they're trying to build their downtown core around it.
You've seen Field of Dreams, right?
Yeah,
I have not seen Field of Dreams.
If you build it, they will
come. Oh.
So
I know the saying.
If they can make Le Breton Flats a place to go, people will go there for it.
Yes, Le Breton Flats.
It's a hit.
Yeah.
It's for all the youth.
They've made Lansdowne a great spot and see it, and they always celebrate for Red Blocks and 67.
Lansdowne has its own problems, though. The people of Centertown don't actually enjoy the fact that it's there.
Well, Centertown can shove it up their ass.
Or it's is it Capital Ward? It is Capital Ward, not Centertown. But Ottawa, small town Ottawa politics is not why you guys tune in. It is for our witty minds, isn't it? And
I'm very witty. Be witty.
Moon people, be witty.
What up, council? My name's Chad Kroger.
So what do you guys want to get to first? We do plan on updating our predictions. We didn't do it last month, but we can get to that, or we can do trivia. Do you want to end with trivia?
I'm good with ending.
Why don't we end with trivia and get to our predictions right now?
Okay.
So
Marshall, why don't you start the pipe in hot takes?
Well, at the start of the year, I'll just read off who we all expected to be in the Eastern and Western Conference Finals. Sorry, who to win the Eastern and Western Conference Finals, then who to win the Cup. So I had the Pens and Jets, with the Jets winning. Jets haven't had the greatest of starts yet, but I think they can still turn around. Declan also had the Jets in the Stanley Cup Final, but you had the Leafs winning, which no reason why that can't happen right now, I don't think. And
wait, I had the Leafs win the Cup or the Eastern Conference?
Declan
was me.
Declan had the Leafs and the Jets. Sorry,
Oh.
and Ian had Tampa Bay and San Jose, with San Jose winning.
Oh.
So
Oh.
we'll see how that goes.
So why don't we get
never know,
going? We'll go you first, Ian, and then we'll come to me and we'll finish off
Okay.
with you.
So let's go one by one.
All right.
Yeah.
So do you still think Tampa
Yes.
will lose to San Jose?
Oh no. I don't think San Jose is going to even make it there anymore.
So who do you have from the West now?
Oh, it's really hard. Like the West is like okay, but they're not like great. So it's hard to pick a team. There's only like two teams that could go, really, I think. It's like Winnipeg or Nashville, which is the same as last year. But you never know. It could be a wild card.
Wild
But
card.
I'm not going to wild card. I'm going to go with Nashville because Nashville has Pecorine, and you can trust in Pecorine.
And so who do you have win the Cup then? Between
Tampa Bay, though. I don't think they'd lose to Nashville.
Nashville, Tampa
right.
Bay.
And then
We'll come over to me.
Declan. So you had the Leafs beating the Jets.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to go with the same thing.
Okay.
I do have faith in the Jets, though. I think the Jets will make it out of the West.
Ooh.
So so the person who said Matthews will score 55 goals is saying the Leafs won't make the finals.
No, I don't think they will because
Okay.
I think they will be dethroned by
Buffalo.
the Boston Bruins.
Really?
And that hurts me.
Really?
Yeah.
The Boston Bruins.
Really? I don't see
have-
that at all. I
I
think Tuukka Rask is garbage, and I don't think Yaroslav Halak can keep the way he's going.
And you think Boston will beat the Jets?
I do think Boston will beat the Jets to win the Stanley Cup.
No way.
I just have a feeling, man.
We're
I
two
don't know why.
We're 2 for 2 on people changing who's going to win the Cup.
Will we
here.
go 3 for 3, Marshall?
Pens are third in their division. I still have them reaching the Cup. It's
Which is fair.
It's Crosby, Malkin. You can't count them out. It's
Crosby
that's
proves
fair.
that he can make it all the way.
Now, the Jets, however, they're also third. They've been less than surprising, but I'm not going to be like you two. I'm going to stick to my guns. I'm going to keep the Pens and the Jets. And for now, we're going to stay with the Jets. We're going to stay with the Jets winning for now. That may change come Christmas time, but we'll see. So then for the Hart Trophy, me and Declan both had Matthews.
Oof.
I mean,
Pre-injury,
not out of the
that
realm
was
of
great.
question.
Yeah, but
I
now
want to switch
and
mine.
Declan had Taylor Hall.
No, that's
Sorry,
me.
Ian.
Yeah,
Ian had Taylor Hall.
which is still reasonable to happen.
Yeah,
Yep.
but
But your pick for November?
No, I'm switching it. I want Nathan McKinnon.
So Nathan McKinnon of the Colorado Avalanche. They have gotten off to a great season this year. And I mean, we didn't get to the Duchesne trade, which is a year old as of Monday.
Ooh.
But
Happy
that team was in the
birthday.
dumpster a little while ago.
Yeah, now they're awesome. Remember Duchesne was like, I don't want to be in a rebuild. I want to be in the playoffs.
maybe he's the problem after all.
Yeah,
maybe
that's what
he
I'm thinking
is.
too.
He's an easy scapegoat for Sens fans. Declan, are you going to change Matthews?
I am going to change Matthews.
Okay,
have
so
to.
am I. So I want to hear what you're changing it to.
I'm going to David Pasternak.
You're all in on Boston.
I am all in on Boston.
I hate you so much.
I hate myself.
I hate you right now. I'm
is-
not a fan of you.
this is
Everyone
not a
hates
loss.
Boston.
I hate
Even
Boston
if you
too.
think they're going to be good, you don't pick them.
I'm a jinx. Maybe this will counteract it. Like, I don't know. I'm horrible at predicting. But I don't know. I have this feeling. David Pasternak, currently league leader in goals at 12.
Seb is currently cracking me up with his face that he's
Beautiful producer,
mocking
Seb.
Declan about. I'm going to change. I still think Matthews is going to have a great year, and if he still wins the Hart, I won't be surprised. But I'm going to take the easy route, and I'm going to change Matthews to McDavid.
Fair.
'Cause-
Fair.
Okay.
it's not hard to see why he'll
He
be
is the most valuable player.
by far. Now, for the Rocket, we all went the same way, and we're all not looking too hot right now. We all picked Patrick Laine.
Patrick
Patrick
Laine.
Laine, who currently for goals scored is ranked. I gotta scroll. I gotta scroll along. I can't even get to it. He's not even in the top 20 right now for goals scored in the league. So
yeah,
we're probably all gonna change. Who are you gonna change to, Ian? I'm assuming you're gonna change. And if you say Pasternak, I'm gonna throw this pen at you.
No,
Oh, we're starting with me?
Yeah, we're starting with you this time.
I'm holding my guns firm. I'm gonna stay with Laine. I think that he can pick himself back up.
He's gonna turn it around. All right.
I think it's gonna be Ovechkin.
Oh, all right. So Ian is going with Ovi. Fair enough.
And you, Marshall?
I'm going. I didn't pick him for Hart, but someone else did. I'm gonna go with McKinnon because he's doing better than I thought he'd do.
I think McKinnon has raised his game so much in the past 2 years after Duchesne has left.
Yeah, there was a void.
I've been massively impressed with him.
There was a void.
Like, it's ridiculous. I knew Nathan McKinnon was good. I didn't know he could be this good.
He's so good.
I think he's worked his way into the argument of one of the best players in the NHL. One of.
He's a franchise
Not
player.
the best player in the NHL, but definitely one of the best players.
Top
five.
Top 5? Okay. So then next up we have is Art Ross, who we all again picked the same person, and that was
no one's changing this one.
Connor McDavid.
I don't
So
think
you're good?
anyone's gonna change with that.
Yeah.
Unless you're gonna change.
No, I mean he's currently second, 2 points off from Rantanen. I don't think he's going to be too far behind him soon. So that's fair.
Yeah,
I don't
he's
think so
gonna pass
either.
him,
I'm
like,
still
tomorrow.
going with McDavid.
And so next up is the Vezina. Ian, you had Anderson.
I'm not moving.
Declan, you had Pekarene.
The injured Peke Rene.
Yes.
And I'm switching to the Fresna. So Freddie for Vezina.
Let's go.
All right, then. So Declan is changing.
I think he's gonna be really good this year. Like, well, he's already really good.
He didn't have an October, and I think if he didn't have the October he did last year, he would have
been in conversation for sure. I don't think he would have won, but he would have been.
He wins the Leafs games, regardless of how good the Leafs are. Freddie wins the Leafs games.
Oh yeah, 100%. Last night, I think the Leafs did not deserve to win that game at all, and they won the game because Freddie was phenomenal.
That's fair.
And Seb is fist pumping because he has Freddie in fantasy hockey, and every time he would make a save, I go, "Yeah, damn it."
I'm going to do the sacrilegious thing as a Sens fan, and I'm going to change mine to Anderson. Because
Craig or Fred?
What?
Are you a lunatic?
Anderson.
Yeah, you said
There
Sens
was
fan.
two
so I was
Andersons,
like,
but he's doing the
No,
sacrilegious thing.
I know.
yeah,
like,
good Anderson.
That's why I said sacrilegious,
Okay.
because I'm not
Can you say the full name, Marshall?
Frederick Anderson.
Yeah, there you go. Not
I just assumed
Craig.
I assumed when I
Anderson.
said sacrilegious, it would be implied that I'm not picking Craig, who has faced the most shots of any goalie, which is just another issue.
Good to see that John Gibson is getting some rest there. Puck's not
Yeah.
bouncing off him left and right.
All right. So for Norris, I had Carlson. Ian had Hedman. And Declan had. Jesus Christ! I had right down there.
Yossi.
Yes, Yossi. Sorry, it's my bad. Anyway, so
It says
yeah,
Rossi.
yeah. I don't want to talk about my handwriting. So are you gonna
It's an
change yours?
R.
Are you gonna change yours?
No,
Okay.
I still think Hedman's gonna win.
And Ian,
No, I'm Ian.
I have Ian as Hedman.
Yeah.
Okay, you're gonna. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm confused there. Declan.
I don't know. I haven't made up my mind yet. Can we go to you and come back to
Okay.
me? It's
I had Carlson. He's not had the greatest start, but I think it's just growing pains with a new team.
It's fair.
I'm gonna stick with it just because I know his track record and I still believe in him. So I don't think that he's going to be a.
Didn't he have a
awful
slow
player.
start last season too, and then he?
Yeah,
like,
he's
sick
not
again?
he's not historically had like a point per game in October. So Whereas it's once we get into the meat of it, he's
You know who
good to
didn't
go.
used to be good in October and now is good in October? Freddie.
Frederick.
You know who didn't used to be good in October and still is not that good in October? Carlson. Best player in the league? Freddie.
Hot takes right there.
Hot take.
Hot takes with Ian Blumenthal.
This is
Declan.
my math.
Have you made up your mind for who's going to win the Norris Trophy as the best defenseman?
I was just trying to buy you time.
Yeah, we were really milking that there, and you
I
still
think it'll
don't
be
have
Brent
anything.
Burns.
Okay, that's fair. He's just super offensive.
I was going between Burnsy and Riley.
Riley's like
I'm surprised you
a
didn't
dark
pick
horse.
Riley.
He's a dark
Well,
horse.
I didn't
He's
pick-
not a dark horse. He plays for Toronto, so he has.
Yeah, but he's still a dark horse because it's Riley. When are you ever going to expect him to be Norris?
Yeah. I won't be surprised if he gets it.
Like, he is, I would argue, one of the best defensemen in the league, and he's so important to Toronto, but I just don't see Toronto
All right.
being able to get it, and that's why I chose Burns. So why
And
don't
we're
we
gonna-
finish this up?
Yep.
Sorry, Marshall.
No, just got one more thing. It's really
Okay,
quick.
Perfect.
Calder.
Oh.
You both have Pedersen.
Okay.
And I'm staying
Yeah,
with
we're
Pedersen.
staying.
Yeah.
I'm staying with that,
I was the stupid one that took Rasmus. I'm going to change mine to Pedersen right now.
which is super reasonable.
So that we all have Pedersen, which
Unreal.
I think makes perfect sense.
And to end this show, we're gonna do a little quiz. And since I was the last person to get it right, I got a player. And I'm not gonna give anything away until my hints, but I'm just gonna say that you'll probably get it. I'm giving some weird facts, so you might not get it right away, but
Fair enough. Keeping it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, so my first hint, I'm going to give you guys 15 seconds of thought to give me an answer each
Okay.
time because I don't want this to take forever. So the first hint is he is a Swedish player and he moved to Canada by himself at the age of 16.
Is it?
If you get this on the first try, I'm just going to like jump out the window because it's like that's such a broad thing.
I'm trying to think of
All right.
Swedish players. I feel like no. Let me get it off.
15 seconds
Is-
over.
Is it William Nylander?
No.
I got nothing.
You think he moved to Canada
No,
by
I
himself?
knew.
at
I
the
knew
age
it wasn't.
I can't think of
Okay.
it. I can't think of anyone who played in the OHL when they're 16 that's Swedish, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
CHL.
And my next hint is he was drafted 3rd overall in the OHL to the Kitchener Rangers in 2009.
That doesn't help. I
don't
idea.
follow Kitchener. I'm
Okay.
that's it.
So my next hint is going to be drafted 2nd overall in the NHL, and he is tied for the 3rd highest Swedish overall draft pick, tied with Daniel Sedin and Victor Hedman. There was 2 that were drafted 1st overall, so he's tied for 3rd as like highest Swedish draft pick.
I was gonna pick Hedman, so it's not Hedman.
Is it
I'm drawing.
Roman Josi? Isn't Swedish? Is it?
Okay.
I have no idea.
It's not Roman Josi.
No.
Okay, here's a hint that might give it away. He won the Calder in 2012.
Who won the Calder in 2012? He was drafted in 2011.
That makes sense. That would be your rookie year.
Was 2011 the Taylor Hall year?
I have no idea.
I think Taylor Hall was 2010.
Tyler draft?
I don't remember.
I can't
That was a good
get it
draft.
off the top of my mind.
I remember that.
Well, yeah, it's a good draft
Okay.
now.
Do you guys have any guesses?
I can't think of Swedish
No.
defensemen.
I can't. Well, who said what? Okay.
I didn't say defenseman.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh, you
He
didn't?
didn't say defenseman.
No.
That's why I was like, what?
Yeah, I was like, where did I say defenseman?
I'm just making things up at this point.
All right.
You're trying to psych me out. All right, next.
Is it
Son-
Kevin Fiala?
No. I'm going to go to the next one. He is currently the captain of an NHL team. You're going to be like, he's Swedish? What?
Is it no? Is it Oliver Ekman Larsson?
No. It's a good guess. I don't know if he's Swedish.
I
He might be
I
Finnish.
know it, and I can't think of the name, and I know what team he's the captain of. I don't want to say because we'll give it away. I know.
I don't even know if you're gonna get it off the next one. Honestly,
is it
Is this
Landeskog?
the last one?
Yeah.
Oh,
Good one. It's Gabriel Landeskog.
I forgot Gabriel Landeskog
I was thinking-
was Swedish.
My next one was when he was named captain. He became the youngest captain of an NHL team ever at the time.
That wouldn't
Yeah,
help.
no, I was thinking last name G, but I'm like,
And then my last one, I was like, plays for Colorado
Yeah.
because like
Yeah.
I was running out of things.
I wouldn't have gotten it.
All right, Landeskog, cool.
I thought Landeskog was finished.
So currently Declan is 0 for on this trivia.
Over.
It might stay like that all year. We're going Cleveland Browns.
0 for 16.
And with
then
that,
fire your
why
coach.
don't we call this a podcast? It was a pleasure
Thanks for listening, everybody.
being here with you guys tonight.
Like I said, glad to be here.
Yeah, no problem.
It was an
Maybe-
honor. Honor was all mine.
Oh, that's good. Why don't we go make some noise? Uber.
Follow your hosts on Twitter at DeBart14, at Ian_Blumenthal, and at Marshall Healy. Don't forget to follow the podcast at Real Good Procast.